Hey there, David Moss coming to you from Tucson, Arizona. We're going to go over all the latest news of Tesla Cybercab coming to the Robotaxi network. I would assume it's probably going to start in Texas, but we'll talk about that a bit more. So I'll pull up my laptop here, but you can see on Tesla.com there's new first responder information for Cybercab, and there's 4 documents to go along with that. Interaction plan, one specific for Arizona, emergency response guide, and a rescue sheet. I want to give a big shout out to one of my best buds, Spencer at ScottsRule08 on X. He's the one that discovered this, and he even gave me the heads up right before his post so I could get things ready to help share and repost and spread more information. So Spencer, this video is all thanks to you and your hard work. But this is what Spencer found, 10 highlights. We'll go over there, but there's geofencing, contacting support. I mean, there's so many nuggets in here. Identifying the Cybercab. So there's Cybercabs with decals on them. That's the ones that indicate, as we thought at Giga Texas, thanks to Joe Techmeyer, that those are the ones without steering wheels. Inside the cabin, talking about how, in fact, Cybercabs are not to have steering wheels typically. Tesla again says that Cybercab, full self-driving, unsupervised, Model Y robotaxi, all that is SAE level 4. So many nuggets on here. Please follow Spencer on X. You can get all of these. What to do in a collision, how to immobilize the vehicle. Another nugget, powered seats on the Cybercab. I've even sat in a Cybercab production myself. I was one of the few to be able to do that at South by Southwest pop-up, and that was pretty sweet on there. So there's there. Of course, you can see my tweet. 3 kinds of glass, laminated in the front, tempered on the sides, and actually a plastic glass covering the B-pillar cameras. Sawyer Merritt, famed Tesla reporter, needs no introduction. Some of the things he mentioned, summarizing these documents that we'll go over more, include an active hood. So I believe that's only in Europe at the moment, but the hood, if it detects a collision's about to happen, it spikes up and helps prevent injury or might minimize them. There is pressurized air, and there's lines, and there's definitely camera washers on this vehicle. You can move Cybercab manually. There's 10 airbags. The Cybercab has interior door latches just like our Model 3s, Ys, etc. 400 volt battery and 48 volt low voltage architecture. So people were speculating it was probably going to be 800 and 48, just like the Cybertruck, but it was just a regular 400 volt architecture. Holmars had a good tweet about this. Shout out to you, Omar, about that. A big, huge battery, a big, very small battery, I should say, like the Cybercab. It doesn't quite need the 800 volt architecture. Opening a door, unbuckling a passenger seat buckle automatically causes the robotaxi to disengage and park. The battery pack, coolant, all the lines are orange. I do know the lines are orange on Cybertruck, at least. I imagine they all are. When I got into an accident off-roading in my Cybertruck last year, I definitely saw those. Emergency charge cable release. That's similar to Cybercab and the rest. The vehicle has external microphones and speakers for two-way communication with robotaxi support. That's very nice. I think right now they currently just roll down the windows for Model Y. Cybercab knows how to proceed to a charging station before accepting new bookings if the battery's low. If for whatever reason there's a Waymo-like incident where all the power goes out, Cybercab, if it does have issues, of course it doesn't need that to drive, but if there is an issue, the hazard will start to flash rapidly. It can respond to hand signals. I definitely have seen that firsthand. Spencer and I, when 14.3 first came out, I was in Dallas, Texas, where he lives, and we were doing some testing. We went by a Texas Rangers ball game, and police officer was there. He was waving us through. It worked flawlessly. Also on our on adventure. If you didn't know, I'm the first person to drive autonomously all the way across the United States, fully 100% FSD, no wheel touches, etc. And then I did the same in Canada, but this was on a team with Devin Olson and Spencer. But on that Canadian adventure, we discovered it works with flaggers as well, so hand signals that way. Robotaxi can work all times of the day. Rain, fog, snow. If there's extreme weather, they're not going to take a ride. It's a lot of tidbits. Cybercab is front-wheel drive vehicle. We'll go on to my page. I've been quoting Spencer all day long. But yeah, front-wheel drive vehicle, first Tesla ever to be front-wheel drive only. So the geofencing can dynamically change. An official first responder can call in and tell about construction and how they need these roads turned off. I think that's great. Cybercab variants, and so any of the engineering spec vehicles with the steering wheel, the steer-by-wire, those are classified as level 2. So on there, there's documents on how to tow in case of an accident, what to do if it gets into a bad enough accident where it catches on fire, how to put the fire out and such. Like I said, front wheel drive vehicle, 400 volt battery. The battery is the floor, just like any other Tesla. High strength zones. Being a Tesla, I'm sure it's going to have class leading. Of course, it's in its own class, but very high 5-star safety rating. How to jumpstart a Cybercab, that's funny on there. It has the active hood like we talked about. That will happen at low speeds. That is a very cool feature. We also got a sneak peek of the graphic, the Unreal Engine graphics like our own cars got in the new spring update. It doesn't look that good compressed, but you can see it a little bit better here about how it's going to see when you finish the ride. See more of the home screen feel. You can see the 48 volt battery in the center. So right now, I think I said at the start, but I'm driving to Austin, Texas. I was at my home in Phoenix, Arizona. I spend most of my time in the Seattle area, though, to be close to my family. But I do have a home in Phoenix, and then I was about to leave home tomorrow to actually meet up with Spencer in Las Vegas. He's there with his family on vacation. We were going to do some AV testing from Motional and Zoox, and go try to see the test track from Neuro, the Lucid Uber partner, and all that. But I decided to go east because I think there's a good chance I'm going to be able to ride one here soon. I don't have any tidbits, but at least on there. So, again, pressurized air and camera washers confirmed. 10 airbags confirmed on Cybercab. Very, very exciting news. And another tidbit of that document, Robotaxi is going to Arizona. Again, I said I was in Phoenix this week. I saw 31 Cybercabs last night in the Tempe area. So many more Model Y, like validation, ghost Robotaxis with the camera washers. So that's pretty exciting. I was in Austin this week too, in the middle of the week. I did see a Cybercab in a parking lot that had this graphic. I wasn't able to get any closer than this, but they are out in the wild. Joe Tegmeyer has posted many photos of these. So that's the last on there. But again, I will link these 4 documents, but they're on Tesla.com. You have the first responder plan. It's like 30 pages. You have that 1-page sheet for Arizona. Emergency response guide. And rescue sheet. So that's basically the tidbits. Cybercab's coming. David Moss going to Austin. Hopefully get one. Thanks for tuning in.